Thanks a lot, Wes Kane, back here in the Under Armour studios as we set the stage for the final two motos here at the 2014 33rd annual running of the Rocky Mountain ATVMC Amateur National Motocross Championship here at Loretta Lynn's, presented by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. And as we roll into the Senior 40-plus Moto, quite possibly some of the most exciting racing we've seen. In some of the finishes. It ranks right up there anyway is what I'm getting at. The finish there with John Gruey and Palmer with that last lap, last-ditch effort by Gruey. He went 3-1 going into Moto number 3 here, and he is sitting atop the leaderboard as far as that is concerned. Scott Sheik went 2 DNF, so that takes him out of the championship, but if he's out here in Moto 3, will still be a factor as far, I think, as the overall is concerned, because he can play spoiler or favor depending on where riders may be. Looking at Greg Palmer, he took a 5-2. He's got a score, Moto scores of 7 coming into Moto number 3, so he's in contention for some top honors. Actually, I think he sits second right now in the points chase as Barry Karsten 6-3 at the moment with 9 points, looking to be third place in the battle for the championship in this one. So as this one heats up, and the Senior 40-plus class will be able to obviously break it down a little more for you, but I believe, especially after the ride we saw earlier today at the Senior 45-plus class championship going to this rider, John Gruey, a lot of eyes going to be on the number 70 here in Moto number 3. Senior 40-plus class. I believe it says 250B limited there on the RacerTV screen, but this is senior class racing, Moto 3. John Gruey out of the gate. And is LaRusso going to get credit for that hole shot there as we round the bell? Hole shot Forest, and we got, yes, Tony LaRusso, the number 37 Suzuki pilot, getting credit for the hole shot, and he also snags the early lead in this one. The Bell Hole Shot Award there. So LaRusso out front. And position jockeying continue there. Not real sure where Gruey got off to. We saw a couple of riders get held up in the rut there in the short chutes coming down towards Comedic Corner. We're now over in Storyland. LaRusso in control of this one, and the race face of this racetrack is certainly presenting itself. There's the 52 machine we see. Greg Palmer, a 5-2 coming into this one. So he's opening up in the number 2 spot. John Gruey not too far behind, so this one is going to get interesting as it sorts out through these first few laps. LaRusso, again, the 37 machine, coming in with a Moto 1 win, but finishing 9th in Moto number 2. The way we've seen things unfold here, it's not out of the realm of possibility to think that LaRusso isn't still in contention for the championship here. I think I was talking with Eddie Ray earlier this morning. I think he said when he won his national title, he went something like 1-8-1 or something crazy like that. Said never thought that there would be a snowball's chance in Hades for him to win the championship, and he said everything just fell into place and all the stars aligned, and that could be the case here for LaRusso today. We'll just have to wait and see as he checks in with lap 1 complete and your lead after the Bell Hole Shot Moto Hole Shot Award. Palmer in second. There is Gruey in third, like we said, not far behind, so he's still well within hunt of this championship. And if we start doing the math on this one, Gruey is actually your point leader by 2. Gruey going 3-1-3 at the moment would score 7. Palmer's 5-2-2 scores 9, so second place overall. LaRusso, a 1-9-1 is 11, so LaRusso basically is at the mercy of a lot of other folks out there, and that is the luck of Palmer and Gruey, as a matter of fact. If they go down and lose a few positions, that will be the only favor that will turn things around for LaRusso. But you got to look at this. He is 4 points behind John Gruey, so it's going to take John Gruey going from 3rd to about 7th place position in order for there to be a thought of a possibility of him winning the championship at that point. But LaRusso, all eyes on this number 37 as we roll through this final moto. He's a CT Motocross Factory Connection, Moto Sport Nation, Troy Lee designed Dunlop backed ride. Palmer, Gruey, and Walston back in the number 2, 3, and 4 spots. Is Gruey going to settle into pace, knowing what the math is working out to be? Look at LaRusso just pounding that sand wash out there in front of the Rocky Mountain ATV.com semi and support truck out there. Into the heart of this race course now goes LaRusso, heading toward the Kawasaki Camelback. Meanwhile, here comes Palmer, and the gap not real tight between he and Gruey, but remember, he doesn't have to make the pass here, and he has played sneaky snake in the last few motos that we've seen him on the racetrack. LaRusso, Palmer, Gruey, Walston, Karsten, now your 5th place ride. Mike Treadwell in 6th at the end of that first lap. Doug Boyerson at the 73 and 7th. Terry Bostard, the 67 and 8. John Agin is 9th, and John Bolin rounding out the top 10. MXers for Jesus, Kevin Kozad back in 11th. James McElvain, the 33 and 12th. In 13th, Rodney Carrier, he's riding the 46. 14th, Christopher Oppinger, the 97, the 15th place ride. Chris Radzinski, the number 18. In 16th, the 23 of Danny Palladino. 17th, the 15 of Matt Pressler. 18th, Daryl Smith, the 51. Howard Jabay is 19th aboard the 26. And Jack Lambert, the 53, rounds out the top 20. Here we got things tightening up now as the number 11 of Edward Walston. Feeling some pressure out there, I believe, from Treadwell. Mike Treadwell battling for 5th spot right now with Walston. Could switch things around for a top 5 position for either one of those. Actually, Treadwell's already got the 5th place ride, so it's just a matter of a ride for pride for the 19 at this point. He's got a big gap in points to make up to get to Karsten in that 4th place position, and an even bigger one to LaRusso's 3rd place spot. So Treadwell, I can probably bet that he is going to try to continue to improve his results, and whatever happens, let the chips fall where they may at the end of this 3rd moto. And as we've seen, you know, someone made mention of it earlier, the Loretta Lynn's curse is something that we haven't seen so much up here so much this season. So often we've seen riders coming in with 1-1 scenarios, and what is called the dreaded Loretta Lynn's curse is something happening in that 3rd moto. This year there's been no curse. This is such an odd year, this 33rd running here at Loretta Lynn's. Watching Mike Carey out of Worth, Illinois on a Woodstock KTM Cycles RS on-time courier back machine. 52-year-old gentleman out here in this senior 40-plus class. Got to give him props for coming out and making the grade at Loretta Lynn's at 52 years old in the 40-plus class. Now, his results, 40 and 38, but guess what? He's still one of the nation's premier and top riders, possibly even in the world. The 19 machine, a ride we're keeping an eye on right now, is Mike Treadwell, who has now stretched things out a little bit over Ralston. Ralston hoping to be able to make that pass on Treadwell, and if he does, he's going to have to make a couple of passes because the point spread now about 4 points between those two. Karsten, got to wonder where he's at, about 7 seconds behind John Gruey now. So Gruey is in control of this one, even in the number 3 spot, knowing by doing the math that he's got this one lock, stock, and barrel. And Tony LaRusso out riding a race for pride, going 191 and hoping for the best things to come to pass as far as this senior 40-plus class is concerned. Right now looking at a 2:04.652 fast lap time, turned by the 37 of LaRusso. LaRusso out of Rocky Hill, Connecticut, backed by CT Motocross Factory Connection and Motorsports Nation. Right now we're looking at LaRusso, Palmer, John Gruey in 3rd in control of this championship, with Barry Karsten in 4th, Mike Treadwell in 5th, Edward Walston in 6th, Doug Boyce in 7th, John Bolin and Terry Bostard, and John Agin rounding out your top 10. We'll be back with more Loretta Lynn's Live right after this. And we're back here at Loretta Lynn's Ranch for the final day and the final two motos on Loretta's Live here on RacerTV.com. Rodney Tomlin now joined by Jason Wygant. And Jason, inspirations abound us out here at Loretta Lynn's. And not only that, just enthusiastic and heartfelt rides like this one by Tony LaRusso, talking about the inspiring ride there moments ago that LaRusso was on here in 2014. He may come up a little short as far as a championship, but again, remember, it's not over yet. We're only up to lap number 5 and a little more time left in this moto.
And some of the scouts out here in the future, thinking 40 plus, what kind of damage they could do. You can see him up here. I'm not going to name names. He's a Secret Service agent, got the shades on, got the radio. He's just scouting potential future 40 plus competition. As we watch LaRusso try to put the finishing touches on this moto, and John Gruey, 48 years old, going to potentially win the title in the 40-plus class.
Pretty impressive. So Gruey still looking at a 3:13 right now as we are 5 laps down in this one. Again, LaRusso, Palmer, and Gruey 1, 2, and 3. Karsten still back and forth. Treadwell still back in the number 5 spot. He is closing up on Karsten right now for that number 4 position here in the third moto. And I'm trying to do some math here. If Karsten drops to a 5th place position, that's going to give him 14. And if Treadwell moves up into the 4th place position, that'll give him 14. So actually, if Treadwell catches Karsten, that will be for an overall 4th for the championship that he will possibly achieve if he's able to make the pass.
And I'm really shocked here. I'm looking in the Hall of Fame for this event, and John Gruey, only 1 title. Going back 10 years ago, he won the 35-plus class. I'm surprised. I mean, this guy is here every year on the podium, almost every moto he's in. And I believe Gruey actually did race here in 1982 when the event kicked off. I don't think he's raced every single year, but he was here in the first year of the event. Part of that Michigan Mafia group. I can't believe how consistently strong he has been year after year. He only has 1 title so far, so this would be big. It go into the books for a second time 10 years later. We're watching Palmer on the 52, but time running out. He needs some bad luck for Gruey. He got the pass. Gruey's right there behind him, but he needs more than that.
Well, I think that Gruey's probably wanting to remind Palmer of what happened in Moto number 2 at the end of that one when they finished only 1/10 of a second apart, and Gruey stealing it right here at the finish line. So as we inch our way toward the end of this final moto, though it's only for 2nd place here today, it's almost like he's trying to set him up for deja vu.
Yeah, you got to know Gruey knows the math. He's been there so many times. But I guess the other thing is you don't want to change your riding or your pace. If this is the pace he has, he just wants to keep riding that way. That's what's comfortable to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just trying to maintain that. And if he happens to make a pass.
Well, he's running 206s, and that, I mean, he's been running consistently in the 204, 206s, and actually, 205s anyway, 205, 206s. So we see that Palmer was running in the 205s as well early in the race, but he's dropped off to 209s now. So you're right. Gruey's remaining the same pace. It just appears that Palmer is slowing down. A lot of it could be hinging on the lap traffic that they're trying to weed through right now, and a lot of it could be that the fact that it's late in the moto and starting to tire after a long, long week of championship racing here.
Gruey ducking the roost from Palmer there on the 52. As LaRusso, who you saw earlier on the 37, is looking to make things happen. Treadwell in the number 4 spot. Tough starts this week for our buddy Treddy. Haven't seen him up front out of the gate very often. He's in 4th, Karsten in 5th. Rodney was talking about that overall podium mix with LaRusso ahead of Treadwell and Karsten. The advanced scout wants more information on these guys. Now he wants to see the numbers. Scouting these guys out, wants to look at the lap times, the sabermetrics. Going to take the data and crunch it at his home back in Pennsylvania. I don't want to give away any more information than that. He's got sunglasses and a hat on too, so you can't tell who he is.
And bird-like nature.
Oh, geez. You're getting awfully close now. Here's Gruey going back after Palmer. This advanced scout up here nearly scored points at the High Point National as a pro one year. I'm just saying. Be careful, boys. I think the motos are too short for him. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Yep. He needs to run all 3 20-minute motos at once.
Right, right. I mean, shoot, he's got 8 titles doing it like that.
Oh, man, you just stop. Stop with the info, bro. Oh, and Gruey making the move, getting into the number 2 position, starting to put a little distance between himself. I think that's the safest way to go, man. Just run your pace. You slow down too much, everything's different, so he's just going to keep on cruising. I don't think he needed second place. I don't think that was necessarily the goal.
Nope, not a bit, but it certainly looks a little better at the end of the 3 motos whenever you can at least score a little stronger finish in the overall. I mean, in the individual motos. The overall is already controlled by him. He has he had a 3-point buffer, and now he's got 4-point buffer, or 4-position buffer, I guess would be the best way to call that.
2 laps to go and 40 plus. We only have 1 more championship to crown after this. That is 250C, and we'll be wrapping it up for 2014 at the Rocky Mountain ATVMC AMA Amateur National Championship. Long straightaway here. Gruey started to get away from Pemmert. He saw what he needed to see.
Yep.
He's left the building. He learned what he needed to learn.
He's going to go process that information, and we'll have a news release soon.
I'll tell you what, though, there's a lot of guys that come up in this tower and check things out and say, next year I'm back. But it's easy to say it. Putting into work, getting all the races and all that. Our buddy Megawatt's saying the same thing. A lot of dudes, including myself, get pumped up about, how can I make this work? But then the work part actually kicks in.
Yeah, I think about the work part.
The scheduling also.
The making and work part really scares me quite a bit, so I just stay away from that whole idea.
This guy, he's been doing it for a long, long time. Talking about Tony LaRusso, a couple of years back, I'm going to say maybe 4 years ago, was still out there scoring points at his home track, Pro National at Southwick. Great to see him here. LaRusso's never won a title at the ranch. He's going to come up short this year with a 1.91. That second moto will cost him, but he'll be proud of the effort. Take that back to the New England area, and usually when they come back, they get the bug again, and then they come back over and over. So I would not be surprised to see Tony LaRusso gunning for a championship here at the ranch again.
Especially as close as he came this year. I mean, so close. Had it not been for a second moto mishap there, he would have probably be riding home to a championship in this final Racer X Virtual Trainer last lap.
So there it is, LaRusso past the billboards for the last time. White flag, 1 lap to go. Treadwell and Karsten are 4th and 5th.
So a look at the top 10 rolling through the final lap in this final moto for the senior 40-plus class. LaRusso and John Gruey, 1 and 2. Greg Pemmert in the number 3 spot. Mike Treadwell in 4th. Barry Karsten rounding out the top 5. And there is the all-important pass that we were talking about and how it hinged. And as I said, they both tied at 14, so that gives Treadwell the nod for the 4th place in the championship. If he can hold on to it now, Karsten back in 5th in the moto and for the championship. Ed Walston, the number 11, 6th. Doug Boyson is the 73 and 7th. Terry Bostard, the 67 in 8th. John Boland, the 85 and 9th. And John Agen rounding out your top 10 here in the senior 40-plus class heading into the last lap there. Now, as we take a look at the championship, if it stays this way and no changes throughout that top 10, the likelihood should be John Gruey with the championship, Palmer with 2nd, LaRusso with 3rd, Treadwell 4th, Barry Karsten in 5th, Edward Walston 6th, Terry Bostard in 7th, John Boland in 8th, John Age in 9th, and Danny Palladino rounding out the top 10. Get this, an 11, 13, 12, not even finishing in the top 10 and 10th overall.
Yeah, it's these age classes, man. They're much, much more consistent. So normally, you go 11, 13, 12. You can almost guarantee a top 10 because someone else is going to have some bad motos in there. But the interesting thing is within the top 7 overall, Not a single one of those riders had a moto outside of the top 10 at
Right.
any point in this class. So
That's pretty
consistency.
impressive.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. We didn't see that in very many classes this week.
Look over the shoulder. LaRusso's got it. Almost collides with the lap rider anyway. Checkered flag is out. They forgot the checkered. Now there it is. Okay, little extra effort. And now the checkers are out. He wins it. And John Gruey is going to finish second and take the championship home to Michigan. Good job by John Gruey, man. He has been out here doing it for a long time. Literally the 33 years ago that he came to the event. And now he'll collect his second championship. ConnecticutMotocross.com, ctmotocross.com, getting one for its guy, Tony LaRusso, taking that moto win. And these guys are tough. I'll put the bike up there. Don't worry about it. I don't need any help. I don't need any man friends. I don't need any coaches, agents, trainers. I do it myself. Good ride, Tony. Whole bunch of good guys up there in the NESC area. Good to see them making the long trip down. He's a long-time Suzuki rider. Gets the handshake from Pat Alexander. Pat's probably like, man, I gave that guy a lot of contingency money over the years.
Yeah.
You see Pat Alexander won't even talk to Barry Karsten there. He's just giving him so much money through the years, just bitter. Giving that guy millions of dollars.
Wow, it looks like we did have some changes back there in about 7, 8, 9, and 10 place positions whenever the overall. So that final lap made the changes. There is the 52-year-old.
And getting his goggles back.
Yeah.
There you go, man. It's not free for everybody out here. Not everybody's on the factory team, so get those things back.
Again, Michael Carey out of Worth, Illinois, 52 years old, out here qualifying for this event. And it's good to see him rolling strong there. I'm not sure how he finished up this third and final moto, but, man, I tell you what, he's one of the best of the top 40 in the senior 40-plus class. That guy right, look at it. That's Tony, right? He's got the Bell Moto Whole Shot Award there, $100. He's going to take up the Cernix and cash in there in a few minutes.
And we'll set it down to West Kane when our Podium in 40-plus is ready.
All right, thanks a lot up there, Billy Frankenfruiter. I got Gregory Palmart. He's going to get a bronze medal down here in the senior plus 40. Tough road to hoe out there, Greg. Tell me about it.
Yeah, man, I was playing with a point in my head. My dad was on the pit board giving me my overhaul, and I tried to get back to John Gruey like he did in the second moto. So, good battle. Mike Treadwell came knocking on my door really hard at the end here. I think until we take the helmet off, we just look like those kids at 20 years old, right?
Yeah. Who would you like to thank?
Well, Crossroad Power Sport, MKS Shoes, Moto Towel, Impulse Graphic, Factory Connection, forgetting my ball darling, Pirelli, Twin Air, Boysen. That Boysen's here, you know that, right? Yeah. He's the coolest guy ever. And all my family, of course. And you, man, you do a great job.
Yeah, I try to be. The way they say, you got to fake it till you make it.
Yep, that's right.
Well, congratulations out there. Gregory Palmart calling me out. Great job. He gets a bronze medal. Congratulations out there, Greg Palmart. All right, Tony LaRusso. Come on up here, Tony LaRusso. Hey, what's the matter for you? You got a moto win. Come on up here. Let's talk about it, my friend. Hey, Tony LaRusso, come on up here. I'm going to give you a gold medal, and then I'm going to give you the Bell Whole Shot Award for your good deed out there. Thank you. All right, let's hold it up high. Tony LaRusso, ladies and gentlemen, a moto win and a Bell Whole Shot Award coming at ya. All right, Tony LaRusso, let's talk about your moto win. How was that?
Oh man, that one was cool. I finally got a start, which I haven't done that all week, and it made things a lot easier. I was able to just kind of, pace myself, look behind, and just kind of spot the guys in second and just ride a pace. And it went pretty well. I knew Gruey and Frenchie there were battling for the title here. Unfortunately, I had a bad race yesterday. I couldn't get my bike started when I fell, But this is a great way to finish it off, and those guys rode great. I just I didn't have the consistency. That's all.
Tell us a bit about that whole shot. You got the Bell Whole Shot Award, Bell Helmet Whole Shot Award.
Yeah, I happened to just put a new clutch on the bike, so thanks to Suzuki there. The bike ripped, and Yoshimura pipe work great, Dunlop tires, but put a new clutch in, and the thing was like almost too fast. so that it just hooked up, and I just happened to get a good one there. So I'm appreciative.
Congratulations out there. I want to thank some of the people out there.
Absolutely. I got to thank everyone back home for making this possible. I got a lot of good people around me. You know, we've got guy Mike Carrazzo. He helped me with my bikes, getting them ready here, and Mimi, which is Grandma, she's taking care of my dogs in the house, and Janet, she helps out a ton. Julie, working taking care of my track while I'm gone. Wayne, so there's a whole bunch of people that made it possible for me to be here by covering what I do. So I want to thank them, and then also obviously my sponsors. Troy Lee Designs, Dunlop Tires, Factory Connection, Chelsea, my daughter, and a whole bunch of others. And this is a good way to finish the week off. And like I said earlier, I wish my wife could be here. She passed earlier this year, but this is hopefully she's seeing this.
Congratulations. I'll just share a little story with this guy. It's been about 15 years since I've seen him. Them guys used to all come down to Florida, race the Winter Am Series, because you guys were hot on the Outdoor Pro Series, so you would get warmed up down in Florida. His van caught on fire, and just so to feel the family, and we're still part of it, my son actually grabbed the fire extinguisher and put out the fire of Tony Russo's van, because everybody's like, look, something's on fire out there. It was this guy's van. He was able to get home, and that just shows you, after 15 years, we can stand up here and laugh about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that, and thank you.
Hey, thank you for being back out here at Tony Russo. Always a treat. We'll let you keep the gold medal, keep the little one there, and we'll take the big one. Tony Russo, ladies and gentlemen, part of that Massachusetts, New England family of racers up there. All right, we're going to take Tony's bike down, and we're going to bring up the champ's bike. If I could get some help up here. There you go, Kip Bigelow. Be careful, Kip. I don't want you to throw a hammy. There you go. Wheel that thing down there. Tony's chasing his bike over there. John Gruey is shoving his up on the stand. Chewy Gruey throws it up there. I'm going to slam the silver around your neck. It's real 100% silver. Won't tarnish, won't turn green. It's going to look good on you. And congratulations, your champion, plus 40, John Gruey. Kip Bigelow with the #1 plate.
All right, real quick, we'll have a start here in our
John
final
Gruey,
Moto
look
250C.
out! Oh!
Woo. All right,
Helmet goes down. John Gruey's.
250C
Yeah, let's
is
set it on the
starting. Go
ground
ahead. You got it, Wes. Go ahead, man.
John Gruey, let's talk about your championship.
Oh, man. Unbelievable. Second one today. Never would have guessed it. So happy. Come down here and race these guys that are all so darn good, and to come out on top of two classes is just unbelievable. I'm so pumped.
Starting to warm up now for your championship run. How'd that make you feel?
Yeah, that was good. You need the heat. It separates the boys, if that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heat. We're used to it being 100, and guys drop like flies. So I was glad it did heat up a little bit.
Who do you want to thank for this championship, and what does it mean for you down here at the ranch?
It means everything, and I really got to thank Team Babbitt's at home for all they do without them. Team Green Kawasaki, AMSOIL, Decal Works, Fox, they do a ton. Dr. D, Twin Air, Dunlop, Bell Helmets, you get a sweet lid. Flying Colors for painting them up real cool. Renthal,